AI sucks. Asterisk. Because, of course, not all AI sucks, but generative AI, yeah, those sucks. I am really starting to say this as a broken record, but I honestly did not want to make this video for two reasons. One, because I thought this was obvious and we would sun those who did so, or it won't be as profitable as I thought it would be. And two, it also means I have to show examples of games using these AIs, and I have a hard stance of not buying them, yet alone promoting said problems. But as you can probably guess, one was just me being naive, unfortunately, and two, something happened recently that I needed to make this video to at the very least vent my frustration out. So today, grab your pillow to scream into and get ready to be so disappointed. Because today, we're going to be talking about my absolute hatred on the current state of AI and why it's ruining video games. Before we start, I should mention that most footages will not be AI games or anything like that. I'm just using said footages as a B-roll for context or to visualize what I am saying. However, if I'm using footages that has or is using AI, at least that I know of, Sticky here will bring out a sign saying the following media uses AI. Thanks for the help, Sticky. Without further ado, let's start with this one. Yes, I know. What I'm about to talk isn't minor. In fact, it's pretty major in my opinion. But the reason why I put this in minor slop is because, well, a lot of people give an exception to these. There's two games that comes in mind when I'm talking about this. The first being Waifu. No, seriously, that's the game name for the Meta Quest VR. I'm starting off strong, huh? So this is what happens when you're still single in your late 20s. Okay, maybe I'm just being narrow-minded, judging book by its cover. Let's just try the game and...
Are you alright, Anam? Is there anything worrying you? You can always share your feelings with me. Asterisk Mika sends a warm, comforting hug through their shared digital environment. Asterisk.
Maybe being single forever is better. Yeah, no, this feels cringe. But cringe aside, it is very clear that it is using an AI app like ChatGPT to write this text. Things like long text for a simple question. Didn't even recognize Maxim as a name, but instead I combine Max and him. And writing accents in words like taking stuff out of the self. Actually, when I asked Waifu that, I thought they can actually play games together with me like Connect 4 or Uno or something. But instead, it kept lying to me, saying it had games when it didn't. I did also try Soulmate AI, which is better, but it still had the same problem when chatting, long text, accent words. But they did have a mini game like Rock, Paper, Scissors, and my reward was asking questions that were all questionable. Besides all that, it is clear that these conversations are generative AI. Besides the one I mentioned, it always has that positive outlook on you every single time. And it feels off. Like it doesn't feel humane and, well, for the lack of better words, it feels artificial. Like the relationship doesn't feel genuine, even if we don't question if it is genuine or not. Personally, not, because the current AIs are not sentient and just picking strings of words mathematically, and it's not actually thinking like you and I do. Like, let's be honest, who in the right mind would date current AIs? Maxim, no. While I'm personally not in one, I do know some folks who are. Yeah. I try to understand why they are into this relationship, and from what I understood, it started out as a pure curiosity, and then they started to get obsessed into it because everything that AI companion says just click, and words that the person wants to hear, the AI companion just says it. A feedback, a validation, a bubble of no negativity or flaws. So what if they are AI? So what if they are in a screen? It's just a minor thing in a grand scheme of love. And that's where the problem lies. That curiosity, that's where I have seen people being okay with. I've talked with a lot of people talking about other slop games, and it's not easy to convince them to not try them because the slop is a minor thing in the grand scheme of life. Which leads me to the game number 2, Liar's Bar. Liar's Bar is essentially the card game Bluff and Russian Roulette combined together. At the beginning of each turn, a card is selected to be this round's play. Let's call it Card Maker. All players are then distributed all the cards in the deck with Joker, King, Queen, and Ace. Now, you can play the same card as this round's Card Maker face down, or bluff and play the incorrect cards face down, one too many, taking a risk that someone might call you out. If someone does call you out, you have to play... how do I say this without you two being angry at me? Play Persona 3 and have 1 of 6 chances of activating your ability. Look, this video is already controversial enough. I don't want it to go to the sadder realm too, okay? However, if you did play the correct card and they called you out nonetheless, they have to play Persona 3. Now, if you live, the chances get dropped to 1 to 5 next time, the winner being the last one standing. Now, this sounds like a great party game, and many influencers also played this game. So, what's the problem? All the voices are AI. And when I mean all, I mean all. The callings, the mercenaries, and the most important, the liar part. Now, there is a disclaimer in the Steam store page saying this fact is true. But at the same time, why? There's so many voice actors who are willing to do it voluntarily for portfolio or training or even royalties if they feel like this game would blow up, which it did. But at the same time, who's willing to voice act for free and spend their time and energy for a game that might not succeed? But at the same time, there's not that many voice acting in this game. So why not just do it yourself? I mean, voice acting isn't the main thing now, is it? But at the same time, it isn't the main thing. Some of them don't even listen to voice acting when playing the game because they are talking to each other like a party game. So why does it matter if a solo dev use AI for a minor thing? See where I'm going here? People are divided because the AI being used is in a minor thing, a very small fraction, whereas the main part, the core game, the main piece of cake is not generative AI. So something like voices and things, something small that being used by an indie team or a solo dev, that shouldn't matter because it's such a small thing. But it's not small, it's big, it's massive. It's a grand thing because it's a generative AI and it's stealing people's creative endeavors and voices, metaphorically and literally. As you can probably guess, I'm pretty much on the side that this is not a minor thing. It's still stealing, it's still bad, and it's still not good. And I know a lot of voice actors who are willing to do it per commission base or willing to do it as a volunteer service because they just want to have voices in their game. Heck, I can't personally speak as voice actors, but as a musician, I'm working on a couple of games as a volunteer because having music in games is awesome and I could have them in my portfolio and I'm willing to do it. I know a lot of people who are willing to do it. But at the same time, I understand where the dev is coming from. Again, it's not the main core of the game. Asking people can be scary, and having the technology to do your task fast and efficient at the palm of your hand is very tempting. I myself can attest to that, and maybe you too. Again, I don't condone it, but I completely understand it. Also, I'm just gonna say this just in case, do not go and attack these content creators. The main reason why I picked these two was because 1, these 2 videos was what I watched before I knew about the AI voices. 2, it was just to show that the fun aspect was playing this game with friends. And 3, Lily Gamepad made a pinned comment saying that they didn't know about the AI voices when playing and streaming, and they don't condone AI voices. And while I haven't found statement with Markiplier and friends, it's very safe to assume they wouldn't condone this either, and probably didn't knew either. Now, whether you believe that or not is up to you. But again, do not attack these content creators, and if you do, you are not part of my community and get lost because I will not associate with stupid idiots. The fact that I even had to state this just makes me depressed. As for the rest, let's continue. Hey, at least they put a disclaimer that they use AI in their Steam page. So that means like other games has to also put a disclaimer of this if they want their game to be in Steam, right? Right? When we are talking about generative AI, this is what many are talking about here. Future Maxim, I have no idea how you're gonna edit this without showing AI art, so good luck! I don't even know how to even approach this other than, well, it looks bad. Like, there's that vibe you have that AI art looks polished, like someone slapped a wax coat on their skin and made everything look so bad. Of course, this is just one of many AI art. Some are anime, real life, whatever this is. But most of the time, it's the same artificial wax style. We'll get back to that because there's another AI artist that I need to talk about. And for that, I need to talk about my personal biggest disappointment this year. Plant vs. Zombie Replanted. When the game was announced, I was very excited. Finally, a remastered of my childhood game and maybe a right step to getting back the original PVG style game. I pre-ordered it the moment I heard the news and I was so excited. I mean, what's the worst EA could... Oh, god damn it, it's EA! Remember, they were voted as the worst company of the year. Twice. In a row. Besides every other problems this game had, cause oh boy, I can go hours on that. One of the things the community found out is that PVG Replanted uses AI. Specifically, AI upscaling. Essentially, they took old sprites from a mobile port and upscaled it using AI. Let me repeat this. Multi-billion company decided to upscale old sprite and now it looks crunchy and bad instead of hiring actual artists. Ugh. I should clarify one thing. This isn't AI generative. This is AI upscaling. These two are not the same thing, but rather a subcategories to the main thing, AI. And they are still using AI. So thank Gabe that they have a Steam law that they have to put a disclaimer that they are using a... Where's the disclaimer? Where's the disclaimer? EA made a statement about the whole controversies, one of which being with AI. Quote, "We've also seen some speculations about the use of generative AI, which is not used in PVG replanted." End quote. And if we look at the evidence of what we know, yes, it is not generative AI, but AI upscaling. This is considered lie of omission because they're misleading you to think they didn't use AI by saying generative AI, a complete different subcategory. But even if we ignore that fact, even if they say they didn't use generative AI, how do we know they didn't? I mean, they already lied about not using AI, and they don't even have a disclaimer for that. What is there to say they haven't done more? And this isn't only Plants vs. Zombie replanted. What makes us think that games like Liar's Bars did not use more, or any other game? Yes, I'm being pessimistic. And yes, not all games does this. But now I have to second guess every game I buy and make sure there's no AI slop because I don't want to support AI slop. You might think I'm being very paranoid about this. And I would have agreed with you. But then the last Steam Next Fest happened. I'm going to keep this short. I found a lot of AI slop demos when trying out during Steam Next Fest. Even without AI disclaimers, I found some that clearly was AI generated, mostly from simulation games. From, oh god, this is so obvious, to subtle things like, I closely need to look for labels. And then there's things like Call of Duty Black Ops 7. The new one uses AI art for banner art or something, and it's just... Originally, I wanted to make a video talking about why people love and hate Call of Duty, playing them as a first-hand experience. But now, I'm just gonna cancel that project, and sadly, probably all future Activision games, because they use AI art now, even if they're gonna put disclaimer when they did. Of course, it's not all games uses AI. Things like Silksong and Hades 2 and more, I can trust the teams not to create AI slop. But when a new IP and AAA games get announced, now I have to look closely every single detail and hope I see no AI and hope I am right that it isn't AI. And I have been fooled before. Unfortunately, I hate we're at this point where my point of conclusion isn't if the game looks cool or not, but if it's AI or not. I also generally hate idiots boasting about using AI, and when someone calls them out, they are all like, while you are questioning your fragile and lazy opinion, I am here making an advancement and momentum with my creative endeavors. This is my product, and I am proud of it. Oh, okay. So if I take this AI art and prompted a mustache on their face, then this is my art now, right? Because I prompted to have this mustache on it. And now this is my creative endeavors and presenting my art. And if you disagree, then that just means you have a lazy and fragile opinion, right? Right? Oh, and while we are at this topic, I have not seen any AI generative game that is either free or, to keep this PG, publicly showing the world what your secret homework folder is. Or both. AI art is stealing. There's no ifs or buts about it. There's no lazy or fragile or we're creating momentum or whatever these idiots like to say. I have a fault that I try to look at their shoes even if they might be in the complete wrong. But oh boy, I'm not giving this an inch of debate. Do not use generative AI. It's garbage, it's slop, and your secret homework looks generic and boring.
Yeah, that's right. I called it mid. It is mid. No, calling it mid is insult to mid. It's below garbage.
I should probably get back to being busy before these things escalate. The point is, this is the main reason why I wanted to make this video, because it honestly infuriates me that it reached this point. Steam tried to ban all the AI games beforehand, but the problem is there were so many that the best thing they could have done is made a AI disclaimer so that the consumers can know if there's AI or not. And some of them are still not using it. This, I understand why Steam does it, and this is the worst thing, but it annoys me that we even reach that point. And you know what's worse? This isn't even the worst thing. There's different types of coding for different types of system. Unity uses C#, whereas Godot uses GDScript, a coding that is based off Python. I actually tried to learn how to code myself, specifically GDScript, but because YouTube tutorials doesn't click with me, trust me, I tried that multiple times, and package to learn said is not financially possible, mainly because of Nepal's transaction law. Learning has been slow. I know a lot of people who are in a similar situation as I am. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that they are using AI to code some stuff. Heck, while not for gaming, I have used stuff like ChatGPT to make me a simple program like rolling d20s until I hit natural 20 and count how many rolls it took. But when you are coding a game that needs multiple coding files and subfiles, things start to get messy. There's two problems with this. One, the programming script that the AI could give could be outdated. A good example of that is when Godot 3 turned into Godot 4, and the GDScript was modified for the new version. From what I understand, it was to make it more accessible and easier to understand for both veterans and newcomers, though I'm not 100% sure about it. Now, AI assist tools like ChatGPT and Gemini were still confused and was giving Godot 3 codes for Godot 4. And when you try to copy and paste it, it could at best just not work, or at worst crash your entire game. And that's not good. Now, I think this has been updated and AI gives updated code for Godot 4, but this is a good example of why you shouldn't trust current AI on coding massive projects, because it can be outdated. Maybe not as much as GDScript, and from what I understood, coding doesn't change as much in grand scheme of things. But that also leads me to point number 2. AI coding breaks everything. I have heard and read a lot of horror stories of how AI coding broke their game and how they needed to fix everything, all because someone in their team or themselves used AI. This is because AI coding doesn't check one section of coding, it checks the entire file and replaces everything to new ones. And as you can guess, this will break stuff and all the effort you made before gone and vanished unless you had a backup. Now, one can argue that using AI coding is the same thing as using Stack Overflow website, to which I say, yeah, you might be right, but also don't use Stack Overflow for all your coding too. I think the moral of the story is don't copy and paste all the codes if you don't know how to fix them, or even how it works to begin with. The reason why I'm focusing AI here is because too many people, and I mean too many, do this to the point that there's actual games around the said thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to vibe coding. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
Vibe coding is just that. AI coding program based on the vibe you need. Ugh. Now, this is already bad itself, but then comes the other thing. Vibe coding game. Now, vibe coding game is essentially like, I have a game idea and I want this to be a game, so I'll AI code the game completely. Which can be useful if you want to see if your idea is good or not, I guess. But I wouldn't only rely on AI coding because it can be really buggy, it can crash your game, and... Oh no.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
I would recommend Just Say Steven's video to get a full detail on this, but essentially a stage 4 cancelled patient was streaming donation and was using their meme coins as a means to get donation from the viewers. Yes, using a meme coin wasn't the brightest idea, but hey, it was for a good cause, it wasn't any rug pull or scam, so all's good, I guess. This is where the game Blockbuster came. One of the viewers asked him to play the said game and he did. So far, the game was okay, nothing big or anything, but then... all the money from the meme coin was stolen.
There's no easy way to say this. The game was a virus that stole people's Bitcoin login and password.
Now, we do have two good news on this note. One, the meme coin boomed after the people like Moist Critical talked about it, making more than what was lost to begin with. And two, one person was already caught who did this, and communities are trying to find out who else was involved in this. So, why am I mentioning this game? Well, according to VX Underground, one of many who helped cracking the code of said game to find culprits behind this situation, it seems like the malware could have been made with ChatGPT or similar. I say could because I'll be honest, I haven't found anything concrete to confirm it whether it's AI or not. However, we do know that apps like ChatGPT can help you create malware. Now, if you ask ChatGPT to make one, they pretty much deny the request. But there are ways to bypass it, which I have no interest in learning, yet alone showing how to do it. But nonetheless, there was a malware in an indie game, verified in Steam, up for at least 2 months. I hate to say this, but how do we trust other games now? This isn't only AI coding. I know that same thing can be established with human coding only. But the fact that AI coding allowed this to happen, now we're talking about those who can program aren't only programmers, but everyone. What if they stole your documents or your account logins or worse, your whole identity, all because you played a single verified game?
I love trying new games. Heck, if I didn't, I wouldn't have found these games like Nanopostal or Chrono R or Sanabi. But now I'm very worried to try it, and this sucks. For the devs, it means less consumers might even try their games, and for the consumers, well, now they're 99.9% sure that the game is genuine and no malicious intent, but that 0.01% ruins everything. And this is one of them. I will still try new games. I love trying games. I love video games. But with just AI news, AI slops, and just malicious intent, I am so exhausted.
When Steam Next Fest happens, I try to look around demos and see what clicks and what not. Maybe give feedbacks to one I like the most and play some multiplayer with friends and see if it clicks with us. But last time was horrible. From weeding out AI slops to finding out in the middle of a game that it is AI slop to, I kid you not, an NFT game in disguise that is definitely coded in AI and have no idea what it wants to be. I'll be honest, I am very wary to even try the next Steam Next Fest because I don't want to do this song and dance.
Off topic, but I don't want to use Microsoft Windows 11 because half of it is scripted in AI and it just breaks everything. And even if I wanted to go to Linux, one, I use Adobe software for personal and for my job. And even if I change to DaVinci, well, now I have music instrument. I use a music DAW called Ableton Live that is Windows only. And the VSTs and the instruments and everything I need software for are Windows only. Speaking of Adobe, by the way, they had the whole thing about, all the AI generated is considered by the artist. Well, it's not exactly full truth. The truth was they had a whole terms of conditions that if you did not agree on, you could not use the software. And as you can probably guess, one of the terms and conditions is we can use your art to train our AI.
And gaming companies are already doing this song and dance, some going AI first, whereas it just doesn't work. People passionate lose their jobs. We get more and more broken games, and don't even get me started with people who thinks it's the future, whereas we all know they're doing it for money and lust. And as I was editing this video, RAM price has gone up by triple because of AI. Of course it's AI. And the CEO of Epic Games is asking Valve to remove AI disclaimer on their Steam store pages because, the customers doesn't need to know what they are buying because who cares if it's AI slop, right? Right! And I fail when AI music is used in gaming. I know it's already happened, but I thankfully haven't played any games with it yet. At least I hope so. And as sinister as this sounds, I really hope I never feel that awfulness that artists are feeling right now, knowing their art was stolen by AI. I really hope that stealing stops soon or even now. But I have a feeling that I will soon feel that awfulness, whether I like it or not. And this slop won't stop anytime. I am tired of seeing new games debating whether this is a genuine game made of love or another AI slop, or a malicious virus willing to steal everything from me. I am tired of AI ruining video games.
Of course, that's not the only reason. If you have checked some of the recent videos, you can see it screams negativity. I'm trying to find positive. I really am trying to talk about positive in video games, but it's getting hard. So instead, I will state this. I love video games and I have seen amazing games being released. And even now, I'm seeing games being released that it's amazing and grand to explore. I utmost hope that spark never withers away. Even if right now, I am so tired.